What's up guys, it's DoubleWinning, and today I'm bringing you my Darius guide. I do have to kind of get through this quickly as I have a lot of information to give you and not a lot of time to do it. Runes and Masteries, attack damage or move speed quints. For reds, you want armor pen or attack damage. Almost always you want to get armor yellows. I haven't found any reason to get anything else. For blues, you want to go flat or scaling. If you're going into an AP lane, get flat. If you're going into AP team, then get scaling. Masteries, you want to go 9-21 most of the time. If you want to just go ham, 21-9 is also an option. For starting items, you want to, with the new change to boots, you want to go boots, 2 pots, 1 ward. If you need the movement speed, cloth armor, 2 pots, 1 ward, or Doran's shield and 2 pot, depending on, if you need a ward or not for your defensive starts. Red pot, 1, red elixir, 1 pot, 1 ward is good for going ham. If you need extra mana or you're going to be using a lot of health potions, and you want to save some money, you can always go flask, 1 pot, 1 ward. For your skill order, you want to go Q, W, E, Q, Q, R for your first 6 levels. That's maxing Q, then your W, then your E. Always taking your ultimate whenever you can. For laning strategies, you really want to learn the outer edge of your Q. The damage on it is an extra 50%, which actually adds a lot. So you really want to make sure that you're always hitting them with the outer edge of your Q. A little damage combo for you is to just walk up, auto attack, W, auto attack, and then when they start to run away, you can use the outer edge of your Q, or you can just go all in on them and kill them. You always want to try and get numerous hemorrhage stacks on them to win every single trade that you go in for. A strategy is just walk up every time they go to last hit and just hit them with the outer edge of your Q. And that way, when you've created a significant advantage through good health pot usage and good harassing, you can just go in on them. And once you kind of create this fear that you're going to go in at any point, you can do that combo I discussed earlier with the auto W, auto Q a lot easier, and that way you'll pretty much win. If you're going for the combo, make sure to walk up and try and do the combo, not start with your grab. That way, if they do use their escape skill, like a flash or whatever, you can grab them back and give them the old dunkity dunk. If you're in mid-game, solo queue is very difficult to carry, so what you want to do is try and make plays that are outside of your lane by either shutting down your lane and making plays in other lanes through either flash pulls or just showing presence, something like that. Or you can always ward their red or blue respectively, whatever side you're closest to, and try and make plays. Just communicate with your team, because Darius, with the pull and a large amount of damage, can make plays really easily. For your item build, if you need CC reduction for hard CC, get Merc Treads. If there's a lot of range harass or you're going into an AD comp, then you want Ninja Tabi. If there's a lot of soft CC on the enemy team, Swifties are not a bad option. Mobility boots, if you really need to go ham with the roam. I don't really recommend it all the time, but I don't want to discourage you guys from it. So now on to the items. Your core items are really just Brutalizer and Phage. Brutalizer gives you CDR and Armor Pen, which are fantastic on Darius. Phage, a lot of people said it's not really worth it anymore to get an early Phage because of the cost increase, but I still think the damage and HP and the slow from it is just really, really good on Darius, and I haven't found anything to really quite make it feel like I was playing like I was in Season 2. Then you want to kind of decide what items you're going to need against the enemy team. If you need armor items, you have a few different choices. Sunfire is good for a little bit extra damage, and if you're just going to be standing in the middle of them, you can do a lot of damage. And it's really cost effective, or it's really cheap rather, cheap in slot. And then Randuin's is the best armor item in my opinion. Gives you health, armor, and a super good AoE active, that's really good for debuffing them and stopping auto attackers in their track. You almost never want to build Thornmail. GA is really good if you're snowballing and they have to focus you. Frozen Heart, I can see why people would build it for the mana and the CDR. It's just kind of hard to justify over Randuin's. I suppose if they have a full AD comp, you could go Frozen Heart and Randuin's. Then you would just be a brick house that they wouldn't be able to stop. For MR items, if your team doesn't have a Bulwark and you can build it, build it. Bulwark is the best MR item right now. GA, like before, if you're snowballing and have to focus you, is a decent MR item. Hexdrinker / Maw of Malmortius is really good for the extra damage and the magic resist. Don't build a Wit's End. The Banshee's Veil build path is kind of awkward, with the Catalyst, you really don't need it. I can see maybe if you were getting a double Negatron for some reason, for instant MR, you could build the Banshees, but it's kind of just awkward on Darius. Mercurial Scimitar / QSS is it's more for carries. Darius doesn't really need it. You should be tanky enough that a one single, target CC isn't going to lock you down like Warwick, Ult, Malzahar, etc. Health is so good on Darius, so that's really what you primarily want to stack. Mallet is really good for this. It's good to help stick to your targets. This is again why Randuin's is so good, because it gives you health and armor. It allows you to stick to the enemies as well as, stick to their whole team really, because you just Randuin's and use your Decimate, and then you get a huge move speed buff, and they have a huge move speed debuff. So it's really good. Warmogs is always good. It is what it is. It's just flat health. And then you get a little bit of regen, but it really is just like you need help. They're just Warmogs, Zeke's is pretty underwhelming. Shirelli's is okay if you need an extra initiate. If you need to initiate more than flash pulls. And the locket is kind of just too cheap. It's 1850, and so you're not really getting the most effectiveness out of it. That's more of an item for a jungler or a support since they have less gold. For damage, Frozen Mallet is good, like I said before, because it does give you damage and extra stick, which a lot of your damage is going to come from spamming those crippling strikes, so it's really more about being able to stick to them rather than building a bunch of AD. With your Brutalizer, you can build it into either a Yumu's Ghostblade or a Black Cleaver. Black Cleaver is really good if your team has a lot of AD on it. That way, you can provide a good armor debuff with your Decimate. If you're just decimating a whole team, you can lower their armor, as well as sticking to one target, reducing their armor with your autos and your Ws. Yuma's Ghostblade is okay. If you feel like you need a Yuma's Ghostblade, get a Yuma's Ghostblade. If you're pushing towers, if you're trying to run in, it's okay. Bloodthirster's too much of a gold investment for not a lot of return, in my opinion. Spirit of the Lizard Elder is actually pretty good. It's a pretty cheap item. I would say if you need early game damage, it's not a bad option. Trinity Force, tons and tons of damage. Just tons and tons of damage. Atma's has kind of too many nerfs, but if, let's say you're going against a full AD comp and you have like 4,000 HP and a Triforce, you could get it, and it wouldn't be that bad, I guess. Blade of the Rune King is too offensive, in my opinion. I could see why people would build it. I just haven't really found a lot of times where I felt like it would be really, really good. Ravenous Hydra is pretty good for split pushing. It allows you to push really fast, but again, it's a little too offensive for my taste. Your ideal 6-item build would be your Boots, your Brutalizer, Frozen Mallet, Randuin's, Maw of Mortius, and a Guardian Angel. That's kind of like a standard 6-item build if you're kind of looking for like a cookie cutter build to follow. This gives you good damage, health, armor, MR, and just kind of overall just covers everything, kind of a meta golem build. You can replace the Maw of Mortius for Bulwark if your team doesn't have it. You can replace the GA for Warmogs if you're not really caring and they don't really have that much of a need to instantly blow everything on you. You can upgrade your Brutalizer to either Yumu's or Black Cleaver depending on if the active is going to help you or if you need the armor debuff. In your team fight, if you can catch their priority target with a flash pull, go for it. Like if your team's in place and you can flash pull and instantly give them, do it. They won't expect it. It's really, really good. You can flash pull and then instantly auto W, Q, and then even ult if you really need to get as much damage as you can super quick off. Try and focus one person, making sure to hit them with your crippling strikes, so that way you can lower their movement speed to nothing basically, and really destroy their attack speed. Just wear them down and then dunk them. And since you have a Frozen Mallet most of the time, you really also want to make sure you're protecting your AD carry, especially late game, as they can kill generally the whole entire enemy team. You just have to protect them. Don't dive into a team fight. You're not a full tank. While you do have a lot of tanky items, Darius doesn't have anything in his kit to make him a tank. He's still an off tank, so you guys gotta remember that. You can't just face tank 5 people. As much as you think you're just gonna go in and dunk everybody, you want to be peeling and let someone like Malphite or Cho'Gath do the full tanking. So you always want to try and dunk a hemorrhage target before you die. What I mean by this is if you're gonna die and they only have 3 hemorrhage stacks, it's either dunk or dunk and die, or don't dunk and die, or Dunkin' Donuts or whatever. Just dunk them. It's not worth just leaving it up for the next team fight that you're gonna come up in 30 to 60 seconds. No, just dunk them. Try and help your team out by getting a last second dunk off. Make sure you're always Wing in between your auto attacks on hemorrhage targets to kind of maximize your slow and damage. I know I had to get through a lot of information there, and I'm sorry I wasn't able to give a great explanation on a lot of it, but I hope this did help you. If you did enjoy this Darius guide, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I really want to hear what you have to say about this. Share this with your friends. I put a lot of effort into this video, and I really do hope it helps you out. If you want to see more guide videos like this in the future, just let me know, okay? And as always, guys, stay classy and keep winning.